Borneo Island.
There we go.
There it is. Budget went up again. Howdy, yo. Howdy, Alan.
How y'all doing today, ladies and gentlemen?
This is from Borneo. This is Sabah or Sarawakian or some shit.
Yeah. Good morning, afternoon, evening, lady and gentlemen. Probably
lady and gentlemen.
watching.
All two people watching us.
All both of you. Hello, welcome back to Wise Old Bastards, the show where we give you advice whether you want it or not. Was that what it's about? Oh, okay.
I think so. We have that. You know,
today we thought we'd actually talk a little bit about advice, since we espouse to give advice to people. I guess we got to first explain to people why we're qualified to give advice and why we're never wrong. You should listen to us, nobody else. Shouldn't listen to other, all that stuff. But first, today's non-sponsor. See, we'll try these guys. One of these days, somebody will actually send us
a Bitburger again.
No, this is a Warsteiner.
Ooh. Oh, Warsteiner. Yeah. I've drank that quite a bit. Warsteiner. That's one of the oldest beers in the world from the monks of Germany.
This one expires in May this year, man. It's not that old.
Very old.
Since 1753.
Really?
Older than my underwear.
That's pretty damn old. Yeah, that's pretty damn old. Now, I got this thing called Modelo Negro. I love Modelo Negro. Very good.
Modelo Negro is not actually negro, though, is it?
It is. It's dark beer.
It is.
I pour it out, but then Negro.
Prove it. Yeah, prove it.
I'll pour it out tomorrow morning, but it changes color.
Okay. Yeah, it's not dark. If it's dark, then if it's dark, then I got some advice for you. You should go see somebody about that.
Yeah. That's the magic about beer. Usually it comes out the same color until you drink some kind of stout or negra or something like that. Dark beer.
I need some advice for you, Mr. Kevin. So I have found that when I give advice to people, when we do advice on Wise Old Bastards, it's great.
Yeah.
You follow our advice and it screws you up. We don't know about it. We have no responsibility. Nothing ever happens. But have you ever given advice to somebody where they took your advice and whether they followed it exactly or misconstrued it or screwed it up and they got buggered up and blamed you forever and ever? Has that ever happened?
My wife, it happens all the time to my wife.
That's not advice.
Other people.
Talking to your wife is not giving advice. That's an exercise in futility. What are you talking about?
Exactly. But, we actually have a little thing, in our logo and stuff. One of the big things about Wise Old Bastards, we've lived, right? So we build up wisdom from life experiences. And that gives us that age experience again. And then we're bastards. So, what we give in advice, take it or leave it. But, I think we're here to give good advice. We're not here to give shit advice. I mean, we're traveling all over the world. We give advice about traveling. We'll give advice about hotels. We just did that. I'm just posting those up. Ones that are beautiful, inexpensive, ones that are crap, and ones that got kicked out of. So
that's not so much advice. That's just like telling you what happened. That's a history lesson. It's a little different.
Well, there is.
Well, I think there's actually one thing I've noticed is there's a difference between advice and consulting that a lot of people don't get. So I guess it must be like if you're a doctor and your buddies are talking all the time. Oh, hey Johnny. Oh, I got my back. This hurt. That. Like, so wait a minute, fuck you, man. That's my day job. That's what I do to make money. You want me to tell you what's wrong? You come to the office and pay me the $800 consulting fee or whatever. Screw. You want advice about whether you should get a yellow or a red convertible? Yeah, let's have a beer and we'll talk. But you want consulting? That's different.
Yeah.
When I first retired, I came back to Canada. So I retired quite young. I was 45, right? I did my first time I hung it all up. I was older by the time I got to Canada, but what I found was people still, like I was in the furniture and export business, right? Import, export. And people, when I was doing it for a job,
Mm,
nobody ever expected me to do something for them for free. It was like,
mm,
hey, can you find me a factory that makes teak furniture?
mm.
Yeah, I can hook you up. We can sell you something. Everybody's fine with that. But
Yeah.
as soon as I retired from it, all of a sudden it
Mm.
wasn't consulting; it was advice. It's like, hey,
Ah.
can you hook me up with a factory that does teak furniture?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, Johnny. Fuck, what? Hey, come back, Johnny. What the fuck,
Exactly.
man? What's going on here?
Yeah.
So,
Advice for sale.
advice for sale. That's
It's
what
on
it
our
should.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's another one. Advice for
So,
sale. Yeah.
it comes back into, we always talk about critical thinking, right? And you should
Yeah.
always be paying a little bit of attention. So if somebody's just
Mm,
giving you something totally for free and not doesn't want
mm,
anything from it, you can kind of look at it, like how am I really paying for this? So
mm.
we're giving you free advice on Wise Old Masters. How are you paying for it? Hey man, you should see the G5 that we just booked from all the money we're making on our YouTube channel.
What?
That's how you're
What?
paying for it. Oh, I
Really?
forgot to shit. Now oh shit. Now Kevin knows
Damn.
about it too. Damn it. Here's some more advice. If you're screwing over
It's
your business partner, don't tell them on the
it's a
podcast.
gremlin or something. Gremlin 5 is
A
not the plane,
gremlin
it's the
5. I found a 73 gremlin. There we go.
exactly. G5.
Hmm.
75 gremlin.
75 gremlin.
Yeah, no, I never drove one of those. I had a Studebaker one time. That was
Oh,
kind of
you
cool.
are old, man. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't buy it. It was my stepmother's, and that's one advice: don't buy one of those. Okay,
There you go.
unless you want to redo it.
That's some free advice.
But
But in
yeah,
general, when like, hmm, is advice a good thing or a bad thing? It kind of ties in. We're talking now about uh, false, what do you call it, fake news, and can you
yeah.
believe anything? Can you trust anything? I guess maybe good old fashioned advice is probably becoming more important than it has been for a long time. Because if
True.
you can't trust the
It's more
media anymore, you can't
scarce.
trust. Yeah, but I mean,
It's
if you can't
scarce.
trust any information,
Huh?
you need information. Like
Mm,
hey, I want to. I'm heading down to Puerto Vallarta again in a couple of weeks' time. Where should I stay? Who do you listen to?
mm. Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah, I
go.
mean, we didn't stay in every hotel there. I mean, so we stayed in one place, okay, but that's only one or two places. So, so if you want an expensive place, you go find an expensive place. You want a cheap place, then you go Airbnb or whatever. But we don't know the one you get is going to be as good as the one we got, or or the next one we get is as good as the last one we got. So, yeah. But
Selling advice. You want ah here we go. All right, more advice. If you
more
want to
business
know where to
plans.
stay, yeah, another business plan, some more advice. If you're heading somewhere and you want to know, hey, is this a good place to stay? Send it to us first. Right?
Yeah.
Say, okay, I'm heading to Puerto Vallarta, and there's a new 6-star hotel they've built there. I want to know if it's as nice as they say. So you
Hmm.
send us the name of the place and the request, and a check for $2,800, and we'll go and stay there for a week, and we'll and we'll let you know.
We'll write a review.
We'll write a review, an honest opinion, unless the
That's
hotel
right.
gives us more than $2,800, in which case,
Yeah,
you know,
might be, yeah. That's
hmm,
another business plan. Huh? Never thought of that one. That's pretty good. But no,
yeah.
it's true. I mean, advice is critical. I mean, normally you give your advice to your kids, you discuss with neighbors and whatever. It's just typical common sense stuff, based on what you know, but you read and stuff. I mean, if you look at TV, right? And you talk about TV, you can't trust the media. You watch any TV show and you watch the advertisements, 95% of them are something that's going to kill you by pharmaceutical companies that says, here, try this medicine. And it's going to make your bowel movements great and everything will be happy, happy because you're looking at flowers and butterflies. And the small print, it says, oh, side effects can include diphtheria, right? Heart attacks, strokes. And now it's like the I'm always scared about that stuff. The
I
side
mean, if
effects that it always goes. Yeah, or worse
you
than
want
that.
bowel movements,
Yeah,
we've both eaten in some restaurants over the years. We can give you some advice
yeah,
on that. You
it's
don't
true.
need drugs.
Yeah,
Just go
yeah,
eat at this
exactly.
place. Take
You
care of
don't
that
need
problem
it.
for you.
A few jalapenos might help too.
Some little things like that.
You just have to eat
Well, I
ice
mean
cream in the morning.
that is like that's the thing. So pharmaceutical things. Okay, they always say, oh, if you're going to a doctor and they tell you something serious is wrong, get a second opinion.
Or a third.
How do you actually do that?
Hmm.
How do you get a
Well,
second opinion?
go find another doctor. That's it. Just
I
find
mean,
out
right
multiple
now in
doctors.
Canada, you couldn't, man. Like right now,
Really?
we've got a problem here. The system here is brilliant and horrible at the same time, right? So we have we call it free healthcare, but we pay
Yeah.
through our taxes. But it's like everyone
Yeah.
has access to healthcare. You don't have to come out of pocket, which it's great, right? So you're sick, you're not going to die. Well, you might still die, but someone's going to probably try and help you along the way.
Not paying for it anyway.
You
Until the
you
funeral
won't
comes
die
along.
just because you don't have enough money. So there's that. But
Yeah.
we have a crisis because to make that system work. Okay, our primary care doctors here. So if you're sick, you go to your family doctor. They have a look at you, chat with you. Then they send you off to a specialist if they think you need it. Right. So that's okay. But to keep our healthcare system from being too onerous, like bankrupting the country in a week. So the amount that those primary care doctors earn, it's a decent living. It's not bad. It's more than most people earn. So it's a fantastic living, but it's not super get rich money. So we're having a problem that the best and most qualified doctors, there are other countries where you can earn more. So you go other places, states, and earn more money.
Yeah.
Which means it's we don't have enough of these primary care doctors. So if I go, my doctor says, Al, dude, I think we're going to have to chop your head off, man. I think it's got to come off. I say, well, shit, doc, can I get a second opinion? So if you can find another doctor, go ahead. But you can't because there's no doctor. So I have to go to a walk-in clinic. So I go to a walk-in clinic and say, hey, after I stand in line for my 19 hours or something, I get up to the counter, I get in there, and, hey, doc, the other guy says you should chop my head off. What do you think? And he said, well, if that's what he says, I mean, yeah, he's got your history. I'm just meeting you the first time. So if he says your head's got to come off, I guess it's got to come off. It's like, shit, man. So then you go back to your first doctor, say, okay, my head's got to come off. Now what do I do? So, okay, I'll refer you to a specialist. Oh, fuck, man. So I got to wait 18 months to see the specialist. And by the time I get to the specialist, say, hey, specialist dude, my doctor and another dude said my head's going to come off. And this guy says, well, I don't know, man. Our head coming off department's pretty busy, pretty full. It's going to be like a 2-3 year wait. I shouldn't be talking like this, but I know a guy down in Mexico that can take your head off for you, like for a lot cheaper. You can do
that's where he probably studied in the first place. It's probably with Carlos.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so serious. Like, I've had some health things happen in the last couple of years, and it's like, how do you? Oh, okay. Head's got to come off. Let's hit up the internet. Oh, man, if they say your head's got to come off, you should take your left arm off at the same time. Well, what the fuck, man? What are you talking about? And if your head's coming off, do you really need that dick anymore? What the fuck, man? It's like, oh, shit, man. It's like, and then you go, okay, I don't want, these are all crazy people. So I'm just going to go to something that looks like, the Mayo Clinic or some, brand name place. And you click on there. It says, click, all links. Okay. Symptoms that you say your head should come off. It's like, huh? You got a sore toe. Head should come off. Shit, I do have a sore toe. If your back hurts, well, fuck, my back hurts. Yeah, but I'm 60. Of course my toe hurts. My back hurts. Does that mean you're 60? The head's going to come off? Like, that's it? It's coming off. Shit, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a show called Upload. I don't know if you ever watched that one. You never seen that one where they upload the guys and the head, obliterate the head, and then they upload the brain into the master computer?
Yeah. I did.
That's what I thought you were talking about. Upload. That's the next generation. So instead of dying, you just upload, and then you become digital. Then you don't have to worry about your body anymore. You're just digitalized. I don't know if that's good or not. Do you drink beer? Can you drink beer if you're digital? You have digital beer?
What happens if you're digital, then you spill your digital beer in your digital world? Maybe it shorts out.
Yeah. Don't know. Good. Got me on that. But actually, the thing we just talked about TV. You don't believe how many crazy TV shows there are that are just as crazy as what we're talking about.
What crazy are we talking about? I'm looking for a second
losing your
opinion.
head. Well, losing your
My
head.
doctor told me to take my fucking head off. I want to know. That's not crazy. I just I want
Well,
to know before I do it.
okay. My grandfather gave me advice one time, and he was like, Kevin, it's like, yeah, Grandpa, have you lost your marbles? It's like, like losing your head, right? Lost your marbles? I said, no, Grandpa, I had them home in the jar the whole time. And then that's the day that I think I hit the damn tree with a lawnmower. I think we discussed that story once. We were riding a
No.
lawnmower, and he had like 20 trees in his yard. And I was playing. I was young. I was zipping around all the trees, no problem. Try and get as close as I can so you don't have to do the manual stuff. And I was riding around, zipping around. It's cool. And I did that for a few weeks. He let me do that. One day, out of these 40 trees, I hit one with the front axle. It broke the front axle. I said, oh, shit, Grandpa. That's where you lost your marbles. No, I got home a jar, Grandpa. Okay. He went and got fixed. It took him like 2 weeks to get the axle fixed. Got back, right? And so he wouldn't let me ride the lawnmower anymore. He's like, shit, Okay. So yeah, like within 2 weeks, he hit the house and broke the same damn axle. I said, Grandpa, there's the computer likes it. I got a thumbs up there.
Yeah.
I said, Grandpa, there's 40 trees. I hit one. There's only one house, and you hit it. He goes, I'm your marbles.
So
Yeah,
Grandpa more skilled. He got 100%.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, I mean, this is one thing. I mean, the grandfathers and stuff, they always give advice to young or your grandkids, your kids, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's part of passing down knowledge. Let you screw up, let you burn your fingers. Oh, learn. It's like good advice. Don't touch that thing. Don't lick the electric socket. It will not be good. Oh, a test. Or stick your finger on that burner. It's like, oh shit, it's hot. Yeah. It's like, so you learn by experience. You learn by advice and warnings. But just don't do the same stupid thing too many times in a row.
Well, yes, true. But I mean, advice goes from yes, sorry, younger people, but it's true. You should listen to, but again, use your own common sense. Listen to older folk and what they have to say.
Yeah.
The advice may not sound like it makes sense to you at first. It might be like, what are you talking about? Don't leave your buggy whip out in the fucking rain. What are you talking about? What's a buggy whip? Well, what they're really saying is take care of your tools and your equipment, and which holds true today. Don't put your hand phone in the bathtub. Just whatever. Right?
Don't leave it out.
Just you can kind of don't just dismiss some crazy old kook because they're talking about a different time. Try and figure it out. But there are also there are times when I think, again, it comes back to advice versus consulting. You have to be a little bit careful, because I had back in the day, I used to have a lot of offshore bank accounts, right?
Yep.
And it was at one point I'd done so many of them that I had worked out a really great system in Hong Kong with some bankers that trusted me and I trusted them, and some accountants, and the whole thing you needed to make the whole thing happen. And I was living in Malaysia at the time, and Malaysia had regulations against their local folk having overseas bank accounts, and some overseas countries had regulations against Malaysia. But this system that I worked out, just by accident, I did it for me, not for the Malaysian guys, but it worked out that, here's a way you could actually get yourself an overseas bank account. So I'd introduce, and so I was giving advice along that way. But I mean, in some ways that could be construed as giving financial advice that I didn't have a license for. Could be construed as helping to commit fraud, which I wasn't. I wasn't helping. I was just doing it. No. I mean, I wasn't doing it. There was no fraud involved.
No.
Hang on.
It's just a bank account.
My lawyer advised me not to talk about this. I should have listened. Should listen to the advice. Shit, man.
Yeah.
But it's so again, it's like if you ask me, hey Al, which is better, a Mars bar or an Almond Joy, and I tell you it's a pretty low stakes game. If I'm wrong, okay, it's just a chocolate bar, whatever. When
or
you
unless
come
you
and
got
ask
peanut
somebody, hey,
allergy,
well, should I? Yeah, there you go.
or a nut
So
allergy. Sorry.
I guess there are different tiers of advice, right? So
Yeah, yeah, of course.
it's
Yeah, I mean, in
I need
terms
some
of that
advice
kind
on
of
how
stuff,
to.
I had, you had the expat consultants out there giving you advice and stuff. So I set up one of the companies. I had an offshore bank account for that too, and it was working great. It was in a little island off the coast of Venezuela. I can't remember the name. Curacao. It was a Curacao, first Curacao bank. And it was no problem. The thing worked great. I was doing international consulting. So anything I did external to Malaysia, I would put under there. It was purely legal. Why would I pay Malaysian taxes when I'm working in a project in Indonesia or Vietnam or wherever? So I'd run it through that other bank and stuff, no problem. And everything was working great. Then one day, Netherlands attacked the bank because they said you're not paying VAT. Who's not paying VAT? I don't know what the hell's going on. I had nothing to do with VAT. But because the servers for the bank were in Netherlands, they claimed that the bank had to have a license in Netherlands just because their servers are sitting there, even though everything was online. So the next thing I know, they just froze all the accounts, and I tried to take as much money out with the other guys that were involved with me, but we lost like there's $20,000 in there. Okay, it's not gigantic money, but it's not little money either. And the damn bank stole it from me. The bank stole our money. That really sucks. I mean, it's legal for the bank to steal our money, but can we go rob a bank? It's like, give me my $20,000 back. I mean, it's like, really, what kind of advice you get? Yeah, go hire a lawyer for $20,000. It would cost me $30,000 just to get the lawyer
Yeah.
and all the fees. So they know that. So unless you got $500,000 in there, you're not going to attack the banks and stuff. So it's and the advice came from an expat, and it worked fine. How did they foresee it's the stupid Netherlands deciding to, put a stop on the bank that wasn't even in Netherlands just because the servers were there? I mean, you just move your servers, just change everything out of Netherlands into Curacao. I mean, what the hell? So, these kind of things happen, and it's not good. And how do you foresee that? I mean, what kind of advice? Disperse your money.
Right. So I
I don't
think
know.
that comes back to when you're talking about wise old bastards and what we mean when we're talking about advice is
Mm,
this is the kind of stuff we've lived through, right? So
yeah.
we're not telling you these stories just for fun, although it is kind of fun. It's not fun when it's happening, but it's fun later,
I lost my
right?
$20,000. Wasn't fun. How
It
much beer
wasn't
I could
fun
buy
then.
for $20,000?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot of
But
beer.
but we've gone through as a lot of people have gone through a lot of things in life, but we've done a lot of different crap in a lot of different countries, and
Yeah,
tangentially it goes like, he's in Malaysia
yeah,
and now he's got advice about Curacao banking. It's like, yeah, it happens. We've done all kinds of crap like that.
yeah.
But what it comes back to is because of all that, that's where we come back. You hear us talk about this all the time. Use your critical thinking, think for
Mm,
yourself, right?
yeah,
So just because somebody comes by and says, "Hey, I got a way for you to here give me your $20,000. I'm going to go put it in the bank overseas. You won't have to pay tax." It's
yeah.
like, hang on a second now. Remember, you want to do like our kind of advice would not be on where to move your money and how to do it because we don't have the
Mm,
licenses for that. We're not qualified.
mm,
I'm not interested enough to dig into your situation deeply
mm.
enough to understand it well enough to give you really, really step by step advice. What we would say is things like, okay, you want to minimize your tax exposure,
Right.
but we would say don't fuck around with the tax man, right?
Mm,
Just don't do
yeah.
it. That's not we. If someone's coming to you and say, "Hey, we got a way for you to do this, and you'll never pay tax again,"
Mm.
man, you better get yourself a bunch of really good legal advice and moral and ethical advice. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody likes to pay taxes, but I mean, if a law is a
yeah.
law, do you want to be breaking the law? Right? No.
Hmm.
In general,
Yeah,
you don't
of
want to be
course not.
breaking the law. You want to be finding a
Yeah,
way to work with the law. So that's
and
the kind of
minimize it.
advice we would be given.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Minimize it. And there's only three, as an advice, there's only three sureties of life. One, you're born. Number two, you live. Maybe four. You die,
Yeah.
and you pay taxes.
Yeah.
So
At every
I
step
knew
along the
tax
way.
in there. Sorry, four.
Yeah.
Even after you're dead, you're paying taxes.
Yeah.
That's
Well, like
crazy.
again, Kevin knows this, and some of you guys might be starting to get the hint of this from listening to us for a while. But I am I lean toward the tinfoil hat kind of edge of the spectrum. It's weird. It's really, really. It's like I talk about with politics. It's like everything in life. It should be a buffet, right? So
Mm.
just because I lean toward not being a huge fan of big government, I don't want the government to know
Yeah,
what I'm up to.
of
That's where
course
my
not.
tinfoil hat comes in.
Yeah,
But it doesn't mean I'm anti-government. I'm anti-stupid government, right? And
yeah,
I'm not anti-tax. I'm anti-stupid tax.
yeah.
I get it. I honestly believe you need taxes. I have this
Hmm.
discussion with my wife a lot. Canada's got quite high taxes,
Yeah.
so I'm not really totally in tune with what goes on in Canada. But she comes from Asia, and her point of view
Mm.
is that yeah, you pay the tax, but you can see where the tax money goes. You can see you've
Yeah.
got roads, you've
Yeah.
got police, you've got
Yeah.
hospitals. The
Right.
police don't try and shake you down for a bribe for
Yeah.
speeding tickets.
Yeah.
So if you get what you pay for, so it's up to us as citizens, to keep the government accountable. So
That's correct.
vote, pay attention to what they're saying, and don't just vote because someone's got better hair than the other guy. That's stupid. Don't vote.
Exactly.
Don't vote for
Exactly.
guys with hair.
No hair is okay.
Yeah.
Although you might look a little bit like Dr. Evil and Mini Me. That was the other one I remember that from WEF, Dr. Evil. But he's missing a Mini Me. That's what I was thinking about. Good old
Yeah.
Dr. Evil. Yeah, he needs a Mini Me.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, we did that WEF just a couple of days ago. It was pretty interesting, and it's still going on. I think this is the end of the week or something. It's 1 week, and they had some Indian lady blowing stuff on everybody's face and stuff. It was from the Amazon, from not Amazon Prime, but Amazon Jungle or something. Brought her all the way to Switzerland just to blow on her face, give a chant and stuff. But beyond that,
Mhm.
what advice would you give to young old bastards? That's one of the things we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be giving advice to younger bastards. Okay? Okay. Don't be too much of a bastard that you end up in jail. Okay. That's a simple advice. Okay? What other advice? Experience is a great teacher. But the more stupid shit you do, okay?
The more you learn.
And redo it. Hopefully you learn from the stupid shit you do.
Yeah.
If you don't learn from it, then that's not so good either, right?
Well, I think one of the big things is intent.
Hmm.
Right? Legally, that's kind of important, I suppose. But oh, see, it's so weird. Life is now it's a buffet. It's I my whole life I grew up identifying as a very conservative person.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back on my life, I've not really been very conservative. I'm conservative fiscally, but I'm not conservative.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Socially? I don't even know I don't even know what all these terms mean anymore. But
No, I think it's
it's like for me,
mainly
the touchy feely is like
yeah.
when someone does when there's a kumbaya moment, I'm like I roll my eyes like what the fuck, man? Crystal beads, hug everybody,
Yeah,
kumbaya.
yeah.
But I realize I'm actually a pretty fucking kumbaya kind of guy. I mean, I have no evil intent. I don't set out to screw people over. When I see
Yeah,
people getting
true.
screwed, it bothers me. So it's
Hmm.
like, oh, fuck, I'm not nearly as good an evil bastard Bond villain as I
You
used
gotta
to be, or as
you
I
have to
thought it
practice
was.
more. Have to practice more.
I'm out of practice. Since I retired, I'm out of practice, man. That's the problem. No, but advice for younger folk is, oh yeah, again, this sounds. There's no way to say this without sounding kumbaya, and I don't fucking mean it. I got to come up with better words. I
Yeah, it
think
sounds
that
like Hare Krishna
things
there.
are, yeah, Harry Krishna. Oh, it's the wrong color. My orange robe's in the dry cleaner.
And you're
Hang on.
missing your
I'll get my
tambourine.
maid to go get me. Hey, get my maid to go. There's my fucking robe here. Come on, my kumbaya robe. Bring it. But like it comes back like things. I'm a
Hmm.
capitalist. Oh fuck yes, I'm a capitalist. I
Yeah,
like money. I'm into all that, but I realize that things are not the be all and end all. So
good
it's
point.
more experiences. It's more
Yeah.
again. I mean, if you don't have much money, then you can go places backpack and go there. I mean, I did that for years and years and years. And Kevin
Hmm.
didn't come straight out of the womb with $100,000 in his pocket to go to a
No,
5-star hotel. He started
no,
off
oh,
on cheaper
yeah.
travel and cheaper living
Oh
too.
yeah,
You
yeah.
work your way
Oh
up
yeah,
as you
yeah.
go along, right?
That's right. That's right. Actually,
But
that's a good point. That's one thing. the idea of working your way through, and this is something I think this is this is actually a very important element that just popped in my head, is that people need to work to learn the values of what they're doing, right? If you give a kid a car, okay, this is another thing. My neighbor in Texas, well, I was like just going into college, and my neighbor was a mechanic. Actually, good old Sears. He would teach Sears mechanics. Remember Sears with catalog
Yeah.
where you wipe your butt and all that, where you can't find anymore? Anyway, he was a teacher
Mm-hmm.
for mechanics, and he would buy these cars, and he would just fix them up, fix up the engines, redo the body, redo upholstery, whatever it needed, and then resell the cars. Kind of fixer upper kind of thing. So he did it for his kid one time. His kid was 15 and something, so he got a Chevy Chevelle, old 60 something model, and it was very nice. I mean, when he bought it, it wasn't the greatest thing, but
Well,
redid the engine, repainted the thing, reupholstered it. It looked like a freaking fucking brand new 1965 right off the line. It smelled new because all the new upholstery and stuff, right? And
mm-hmm.
it was beautiful, convertible. Oh, it's a 64, 65 Chevelle. It was gorgeous, red and white, you know, the white interior, red exterior, and a white top. God, gorgeous. I think he had it about a month and a half, where the kid then had a wreck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, you have such a beautiful car, you don't take care of it. He was given that car, and he wasn't. I guess he helped the father a bit on the engine and that kind of stuff. But so that's good. But if you make the kid buy the damn car and then fix it up and then help him to do that, I think he would take more care of the car. And this is one thing you see in today's age. We're giving the kids too much. They don't make them earn it as much. They need to learn the value of the money and the work it goes involved to get the things you want. And hopefully, you grow up appreciating those things more and more. But again, I agree. I don't think materialism's that great. I think being happy and content, not begging for stuff. I mean, because you're financially okay, right? You don't have to be that rich, because rich people don't know the rich. Is it? It's true.
Yeah, I guess there's you get used to anything. So
Mm.
you after you have 1 billion, you need two, and after two, you need
Yeah.
three, and after three, you still
Yeah.
like Elon Musk today. There's been some debate going on. He wants Tesla to give him a whole bunch of shares. Basically, he's threatening to work against Tesla. Is what was basically saying.
Oh. Okay.
And the board is more than likely going to end up giving him what he wants, because they always do. But
Uh,
I think it's at the level. It's like $80 billion, 80 billion. Is what he's pushing for them to give him.
that's a
And
lot.
it's like, okay, I think that's a disincentive. If you have
But that
that
would be in
much money, you're
stock
giving somebody that
shares.
much money.
That's all in
Yeah,
shares, though.
yeah, yeah. Still, but I mean, he just sold 44 billion worth of shares last year to pay for X, and it
Mm.
tanked Tesla's stock, right? So he's got a track
Yeah.
record of doing things that are not always they're in his own best
Yeah.
interest, which is that's
Yeah, of
fair enough.
course. That's
But I mean,
business.
that kind of money you can disincentivize somebody. So if you got another
Mm.
$80 billion, I'm going to give you 80 billion, so you work harder for
Mm.
Tesla, for my company, for
Yeah.
whoever I am. Now I got 80 billion. Like, fuck you, man. I'm sleeping until 11. I got enough money. It's like, why work overtime? Fuck you, man. I got to go count my money. Well, I got no time to deal with you. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was just talking about this with my daughter the other day, about
Hmm.
how a lot of people feel, the latest generation coming through. Everybody wants to have like remote work. There were some
Mm.
studies came out in the press, whether you
Yeah.
believe it or not, right?
Hmm.
About how a bunch of companies are saying when they're interviewing Gen Z,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
not good at interviews. They're too
Mm.
self centered. Blah blah. Every
Yeah.
generation, every older generation,
Yeah.
this is the newest generation. But
Yeah. Well,
that's
that's
what's
true.
happening this particular one, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're saying like things like, so we were talking about that, right? And then we started getting on the topic of, wait, if everybody wants to just come straight out of school, and I want a remote job working on the beach, right? It's like, oh, you can,
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
well, good
yes, I
luck.
mean, we do remote work, but we put in a
Yeah,
little bit of time to get to the point where there's a
yeah, I
reason
can
we
do
can do
that.
remote work, right?
Yeah, I've done it
And
many
anybody
times.
should do that. But
Mm,
then we had a little bit of a discussion, and it led into one thing that we talk about a lot is my daughter and I is about the concept of privilege, right?
mm,
And the fact that although yes, we've worked hard, we've done a lot of stuff, but there's no question we have privileged lives compared to a lot of people, right?
mm.
And so we were talking about, okay, what if
Don't know.
all this new generation comes out and they all just want to do remote work, and then what's going to happen to the economy? But you stop and
Mm,
think about it. No, we're having a privileged discussion. Only privileged people would even think to have that discussion. Oh, who's going to work in the factories? Who's going to work in the grocery stores? Who's going to work at a
yeah,
gas station? You
true.
know what? The people in the factory, the people in the grocery store, the people working at the gas station, they don't even have dreams about working remote. This is a discussion that some other
Yeah,
fucking aliens are having. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, okay, boss, I work in the seafood department. I'm going to do it from the beach in Mexico. All right.
Yeah.
So what the
Actually, you
fuck?
could.
So
You have to go catch the fish.
yeah, bring it back. Okay. Right?
You'd be out in that
So
boat
I
catching
don't.
fish.
So I don't think that we're going to have a problem with not having people to do the real work in the world, because most people who are doing the real work are not the same people who are saying I want to. They're like I want to have 4 weeks vacation instead of 2 to go to the beach. That's their dream.
Mm,
That's what they're hoping to do.
yeah.
It's not saying
Mm,
I'm going to go. I'm going to work on the foundry line, but I'm going to do it while I'm actually in Tokyo. Okay, it's
yeah.
like, no, no.
Yeah.
Some white collar dude might be doing the designing for whatever you're
Mm,
making from
yeah.
his remote work in wherever the hell he is. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's a different story. So it comes back into story of privilege versus not privileged.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I think privilege is not the best word. I think that's privilege is something you work for. I mean, you're getting that privilege because of the experience and the time and the effort that you put into it to be able to do that kind of work. I mean, yeah, I've sat on the beach and typed up stuff all the time, and I have that privilege because I have the ability to work. I have people
Yeah.
working for me, right? And they're doing the
Right.
work in the forest and the factories or whatever. And you did the same thing. You were working. Other people were doing that for you. You don't have to physically be there. As long as you have a management
Mm.
system that does that, and that's management. But that you just don't walk out of high school into a management position. I mean, unless you have a
Yeah.
paper route, and they don't even have papers anymore. Everything's electronic.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
so, so
Well, I guess yeah. What I meant by that, not like what we do is okay. It's privileged, earned privilege, maybe is a way to put that
it's
one.
yeah, I would say it's
But
earned.
we were having a discussion with I was talking to her about we were concerned about with the attitude of younger folk coming straight out want to go from high school
Yeah,
straight into management straight into remote.
yeah.
Is that going to destroy the economy, destroy the planet? Because there'd be
No,
no one left to grow wheat, to turn it into bread, to serve it. And that's
no,
where we're saying, no, no, I don't think so. We're getting all
no,
uptight about, oh my God. But
no.
it's a small section of privileged youth who come
Yeah,
from
no.
like my
And
kids or your kids or someone else who earned their privilege and now
yeah,
don't maybe
no,
understand it because they got the Chevelle. They didn't have to pay for the Chevelle, right?
yeah,
So
but
so it's those
but
guys that are
again, it's
like,
like
wait a minute, I had got everything I wanted in life now. I'm out of high school. I don't want to go through all this shit and work in the factory. I just want to go. I want to be like Dad. I want to go be remote. Actually going to go to. I'm going to go to Hong Kong and drink beer in one of the 5-star hotels there and send
yeah.
emails and make my money. It's like
Well, if you
you
want to
missed
be
a
a
few steps
marketing
in that.
agent, yeah, you got to do a marketing agent, right? To do that stuff. You have to be able to buy, sell stuff for another company. And then they have to trust you that can actually perform out there. Right? They're not going to send you out there if they don't know you can perform and stuff. And this is a problem with Gen Z. Yet I'm very up and down with it. Every generation will have potentially excellent kids, and they work hard. But then there are a lot of Gen Zs right now that are expect privilege, just because it was handed to them. If you hand them too much shit, too much stuff, they expect more stuff. You hand them some shit, They need a
They expect
shovel.
more shit. Yeah.
I mean, okay. This is another true story. When I got out of, I didn't get out. I was
Prison?
in high school. I was still in high
Oh,
school, not prison.
okay. Oh,
Although it
okay.
felt like prison sometimes. No, high school, high school.
Mm.
And I was 16 years old. And my uncle got me a job in a Telford rural. They take care of the little town. Okay, it's a small town, bunch of little towns, southeast Pennsylvania, right? So he got me this job with the little municipality to take care of the parks and mow the grass and pick weeds and help out on pipelines or whatever I had to do. Right? And I was 16.
Run,
So
Forrest, run.
yeah, I should have, but no, I used to mow the stuff. And I was okay. You're not a kid. You can mow lines and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, one of the things they had there was a sewer plant. And we used to have to mow that sewer plant, right? And it was stunk and stuff. And they had all the tanks and all the microbes that were eating all this shit. And it would go through the systems, through like 5 tanks. And it had overflow tanks as well. And then it would come out as clean water. The clean water you wouldn't want to really just drink, but it's good for watering
Yeah.
shit. It's all that. It's like recycled water, right? So anyway, I was mowing the lawns all the time. I was like, shit, we got to do this sewer place. Okay. Because every 2 weeks we'd have to do it, right? So anyway, one time it's like, okay, we have to clean out the overflow pits at the sewer plant. It's like, huh? What the hell does that mean?
Huh?
You know what it meant was, okay, there was two of us, me and this other kid. We were both 16. He was just a young kid. And anyway, he automatically got sick that week. That we had to clean out these
Automatically.
pits.
He ain't no
Yeah.
dummy.
And I'm no, my uncle got me that job, right? So I could have. So these tanks were like, I think 10, 12 foot wide, so about 12 foot wide, and about 60 foot long. Okay. And there was like 6 of them or something like that. And these are just big cement tanks, and they were in the ground about 8 feet deep, right? 7, 8 feet deep. Yeah, about 8 feet, I think. Anyway, it gave me a ladder, gave me boots, gave me a shovel. I had to clean all these tanks out. It was an overflow. It wasn't, very deep or something. It was usually just a few inches deep or something. And some of it was dry. So some of it was okay. It was really simple. He just dried it. But some wasn't so dry. So for like 4 or 5 days, and they're fucking taking a shovel, digging it out, and throwing it over the freaking wall. And the problem is the two end tanks not so bad, right? Because you got, but the middle tanks you got to go walk, push it all the way to one end and throw it over, and then push the other thing all the way there and throw it over. Oh man, I shoveled a lot of shit in my day, and
Oh.
I was earning. Okay, Okay, get this. This is what was it? I was earning $1.70 an hour or something like that back then, and yeah, $1.80 an hour or
Executive
something like that.
pay.
Yeah, that's what I got. And the thing is, that week I got a letter because I applied at a new place that was opening up, kind of like a Target or some shit like that, right? Or Walmart, but I forget the name of it back then. So I applied because it was just opening up and they didn't need a bunch of people. Guess what? I got the job for $2.15 or 20 cents an hour. So it's about
Nice.
40 cents
Nice.
more, right? Great. I didn't take the job. And I got the week I was shoveling the shit because my uncle got the job. So I didn't want to disappoint my uncle. So I said, look, it's just a summer job. So if I work at this other place, yeah, I get a little bit more, but I disappoint my uncles and stuff because he put in for me and shit. So nah, I'll put it in. So I finished shoveling the shit, and then
Well done.
I earned my time.
Well
Yeah.
done.
So if you ever want to say I'm full of shit, it's true. It's very true, and that's multiple times. I can tell you other stories of shit shoveling shit. That's not the first one. Oh, actually, it's the first one, but it wasn't the only one I did. There's more shit
Yeah, I mean,
shoveling
I
out.
think it's kind of necessary, character building. I mean,
Well,
you hear
exactly.
stories about rich families. When I was in the furniture business, right? One
Mm.
story that
Yeah.
I really liked. It was not story. One thing that I really liked. There was Cape Cod, Massachusetts,
Okay.
Massachusetts, right? So I had a
Massachusetts.
cut Massachusetts. So I had a
Okay.
customer there in the furniture business,
Mm.
And it was the business had been around for a long, long time. This
Okay.
was an older dude who had started businesses back in the 30s, and by the time I ran
Mm.
across him selling him stuff, he was 70 something years old, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
But he had like the furniture business, and they had this business, that business, and they had a mini golf thing,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So Cape Cod is like a real tourist area in the summertime, right? People
Mm.
coming in from Boston, from wherever, going out there and then pack the car out, go out there. Right? And
Mm-hmm.
I actually I asked him once because we were driving along. So yeah, that. And we actually went. You got when you do business with this guy, you got to go play mini golf with him in his mini
All
golf
right. Go
place,
play putt
and
putt.
you got to pay for the round. You got to pay for the round.
Really?
It's like,
He's a cheap
okay,
bastard.
yeah, it's like,
He's a cheap bastard too.
yeah.
That's in part of a wise
That's
old
the moral
bastard.
of the story. That's the moral of the story. And then he introduced me to some young kid, 17, 18, who was managing the place. And it turns out that their family tradition is they own this place. And
Mm-hmm.
every summer, it would be
Mm-hmm.
somebody in the extended family, 16, 17, 18 years old, where here you go, here are the keys to the place. You're managing it for the summer. You're not working
Oh,
there. You're
wow.
managing, you're running the place.
Wow.
You
Wow.
figure out how to do the books, how to pay the workers, how to, when they don't show up on time
Wow.
on a busy weekend, clean the vomit up from people drinking too much beer. You sort
Wow.
it out.
Mm.
And then all through his little chain of companies, you would meet people from the extended family, and they would all tell you the same story about when it was their turn, the summer they did it. Like all the stories, like, oh yeah, when I did that was that blah blah blah. Oh, that was the time when the blonde chicks came in and went woo. It was like, that was a good summer. The other guy said, "Fuck, you had a good summer. My summer sucked. How come you had so much fun?" But everybody had it, so it was
That's
that
cool.
was an interesting thing. So wealthy, I mean, not billionaire rich, but like a a wealthy
Yeah.
family who worked their way up from the ground
Yeah.
up. So
But
that's kind of that's
that's
an
cool. But
interesting little thing. That's
you know, the Chinese, especially our experience in Malaysia, especially the Chinese, they always have this issue where the fathers or the grandfathers, whatever, will work like hell, get up, and usually his sons are okay too. But the next generation,
Yeah.
it usually only lasts 3 generations. After that, the grandkids come in and they expect everything. And they just want to inherit everything and not do anything and just take the fruits of what was gone, what was developed, and just splurge it and just have dinners and do the business, but not really work it very. They expect it just to run on its own and just kind of sit around and usually these kind of businesses, these family businesses in the Chinese only lasted 3 generations, and pretty soon they all crumbled.
Yeah.
And it was so common. I worked with them, and I did some work with them in different companies, and I've seen it so many times until it goes, where they actually hire extra people or external people to do the work.
And it's usually too late by
Fall
then.
apart. Yeah, usually. Yeah.
And what's interesting with that is we're talking about not running a mini putt. We're talking about the crazy work. We're talking about the generation that started it came from southern China, came from somewhere. They had nothing. They showed up in their flip-flops and torn shorts.
Yeah.
And they were working in the fields for somebody. They had like less than nothing. And they worked like fucking mad 86 hours a day to build up this business. So they went from an outrageously, unreasonably, horribly strong work ethic to their kids usually still had a lot of it. But then by the third generation, such a change. And how the grandparents hate the grandkids because like, what the fuck? I work so fucking hard, and yet they still give it to them because it's tradition to hand it down through the family.
Yeah.
And Grandpa's always like, "Thank God, I'm going to die of a heart attack, work myself to death before I can see this go down the toilet." So fuck.
That's exactly what happened. They just did the Hennessy and eventually gone. But
but the work ethic can be nuts.
But there you go. You should not. That's another thing. But as a wise old bastard, don't work yourself to death. I mean, you have to enjoy life. And a lot of that, what we're talking about now, is the Chinese that work so hard and to get everything they wanted to in terms of monetary system, having the big house, having the Mercedes Benz and stuff like that. But they didn't enjoy life because they just constantly worked. Everything was about work. the ones I had, they had like 5 factories, mostly timber factories, right? They had like 5 moldings and sawn and plywood, and veneer, and that's could be Singapore, Malaysia, Sarawak. It's just they just kept going and going and growing and growing. And eventually the whole thing, they keep selling it off, and the grandkids would sell it off, and then the whole thing would just
Yeah.
crumble. Yeah. And it's
Well,
sad to
I
see.
have one example that I have that's contemporary. It's happening still right now. Is we have some really good family friends from Taiwan that they lived in Malaysia the same time we did,
Yeah.
and this guy's brother is still in Taiwan today. So the brother, he must be in his early 70s by now. Yeah, he has 2 steel factories in
Holy shit.
Taiwan still,
Steel. Those are big
and
factories. Those are not
steel.
small. Those are huge.
Right. He's got 2 of them. And he's still
Yeah.
now, he works 7 days a week, 12-hour days.
Yeah.
And he still does it the old school Asia style of business, which means from about 4 or 5 in the afternoon onward, it's drinking with 2 hands, right? You're drinking with your suppliers, your customers, your shipping guys.
True.
You drink with the guy who the forwarding agent to try and get a better deal. And this guy, it's like, he's
how old is he?
He's in his 70s now.
Oh yeah,
and
well, that's not too bad.
But he's just like, you see it, and it's like, yeah, he's got the big house, but he's never there.
Yeah,
he's got the 3 wives. He doesn't see any of them.
Yeah, true.
Right? He's got the big cars. And it's like,
yeah, that's true. Don't worry about. Don't forget about the multiple wives. The guy I knew,
and
was
all
13.
he talks about, and he's complaining all the time because it's just, he complains about working. It's like, if you love it so hard, you get a hard on every morning to go into the office. That's different. But I mean, he knows he's doing it wrong. He knows he's miserable, but he can't get off that treadmill. And that's, I mean, I was a bit like that for a while too.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you talk about getting a hard on for business. That would be Hugh Hefner. That would be the best one you can get. I don't know if life after death, death after life was better for him. I mean, Islam says he got 78 virgins. He had about 80. They weren't virgins, but that's in his house. Joking. Of course, it's a comedy show. Forget about this, or don't forget, this is Wise Old Bastards. This is a comedy podcast. We're here to have fun, talk about bullshit, talk about everything in life, and talk about beer. I think that's one of the things. That's one of our common topics in pretty much everything we've posted. I don't think we posted something without something reference to beer.
Well, we don't lie about our attitudes for that. It's like it says right on one of the shirts, it's beer is life, right?
Beer is life. And we need these these big guys to help sponsor us, right? Especially when we go to Beer Hunter International. We're expanding already. We think big. And we think global.
Yeah.
And interplanetary sometimes.
Yeah.
If we meet the aliens with beer. That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, Beer Hunters, it's actually it's already in the early stages. You're gonna be doing some Laos stuff in the next couple of weeks. I'm heading down to got a couple of places in Mexico we're gonna hit up and start to put some footage in the can. It's fun. I think anybody who's watching this will enjoy it and appreciate it. And a lot of people who are not watching this will appreciate and enjoy it. People who watch this and think this is stupid and waste of fucking time will still enjoy that. So it's like, hey, it's a win-win.
Yeah. No problem. We enjoy life. Number one, enjoy life. That's one thing that we can advise on. That's one big thing of advice. Enjoy life. If you don't enjoy life, you're screwed. Okay, simple as that. So part of that,
and it's
that's
like
one piece of advice.
It's that cheesy advice that you roll your eyes at that everyone tells you is, you better enjoy today because you don't know what's coming tomorrow. You might get hit by a bus, blah, 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 right? And you're like, oh, okay, fuck what.
Yep.
But it's true, man. I was telling you about one of my customers, his brother got hit by a fucking bus. Actually, it wasn't a bus. He got hit by a car a couple blocks from our store, just got in a crosswalk, just to... but not like boom dead. He was just knocked over.
Oh, okay.
He was walking,
Mm.
But he was in his he was 65.
Oh, okay.
He's 66 now. He's still alive, this
Okay.
guy, right?
He's still okay. That's good.
But yeah, but so he's a healthy guy. They're just walking
Mm.
in the afternoon. It was like nothing. There was no reason for this to happen. It wasn't like dark. It wasn't raining. The guy driving wasn't drinking. It just happened, right? It just fucking happened. Is all.
Wow.
Got knocked over, and he got a brain bleed, right?
Yeah.
So when he
Okay.
got knocked
Yeah.
over, he didn't
Yeah.
break any bones or anything. He just like but the brain bleed fucked him up. He's now
Oh.
living in assisted living.
Oh
And
no.
his grip on reality is kind of lost. He's got dementia. He's become violent.
Mm.
His life is screwed, and so his
Yeah.
brother's life is screwed, and his
Yeah.
family, everybody around him, they have to
Yeah.
go visit him like every day, try and calm him
Yeah.
down because he's like attacking people. And it's not his fault, not the driver's fault. It's just a little fucking accident. It just happened. So,
Wow.
not trying to bring anybody
Mm.
down, not trying to be
Yeah.
depressing anybody, because I'm
But
not saying go try and live in a like the boy in the bubble.
mm.
Fuck that. I'm saying the opposite.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
have fun. And yes,
Yeah.
you'll roll your eyes. I roll my eyes when I hear this shit too, but every day try to enjoy something. Try and get a giggle out of something, man. I mean,
Yeah.
just every day. Every
Enjoy
fucking
life.
day.
It should be fun and comical, right? I mean, just you have fun with life. I mean, if you're watching horror films all the time, they're not fun. It's like watch something fun. So if you have a job, oh, okay, there's another one. There's something else. I used to have a close friend, a girl, and her father. This is in when I was doing a bachelor's in Texas. Her father was an undertaker. It's like, oh shit, that's kind of one of the most solemn jobs you can have. And she kept saying, "Oh, my father is such a comedy. He's so funny, you know," and he has to be because his job is an undertaker. It's like you have to go from one extreme to another. I did meet her father one time. I can't remember too much about him, but you know, nice people. Lived in middle of Texas, Cleburne.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the damn town. Some little place called Cleburne,
Ooh,
Texas. Nice people. Yeah. And I drove down there to visit her one time and meet her family, and just say hi and all that. Wasn't really dating her, but tried to. But she had her own boyfriend, so yeah, so it goes. But we were close
and you
friends
didn't
and
want to
stuff.
end up in her father's
Yeah, exactly.
business. So it's like,
You
okay.
know, they got the cremation thing too. I know.
Yeah.
No. I like hot places, but not that hot. Puerto Vallarta's fine, Malaysia's fine, Laos fine, but no, not ready for that yet.
That's a
Okay?
bit much, that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too hot.
Yeah. But it
Mm.
is. It's like
But beer is
we
good.
keep coming back to it and say like eye rolling and cheesy and stuff, but back to the whole advice thing, right? So
Mm.
things that people tell you, the knee jerk reaction is to think stuff is cheesy, roll your eyes, and just like fucking dismiss it. But stuff like my dad used to tell me all the time as I was
Mm-hmm.
building up my little mini empire. My business was
Mm-hmm.
going like mad.
Yeah.
Money was falling from the fucking sky. I kept reinvesting it, growing, blah, 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 blah. And he kept saying to me all along, he said, make sure you're paying yourself. So what do you mean? He said, just
Exactly.
don't just put it all back into the business. Don't do this. Take
Right.
some, do something. Like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. But it doesn't matter because tomorrow I got another fucking sack of money coming from the sky. So don't worry about it today. Tomorrow I'll get the next sack, sack. Until one day you get kicked in the sack. And it's like, oh shit, I didn't save any of those sacks.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, is that true? It's true.
And then you have to go start all over again. So I've had a couple of times where I've lost a shit ton and had to start all over again. It's like,
that's true.
You know what?
Yeah.
Take some along the way. It's so fucking, it's so clear, so simple when they're telling you. So don't dismiss advice. Just like what we say when you watch TV and you see the left and the right, don't automatically dismiss the side that you don't like. Don't automatically follow the side that you do like. Listen to both sides. When someone gives you advice, don't automatically follow it. But don't just say, fuck off, old man. Just think about it for a second. It's like, you know what? Pay yourself along the way. Try to enjoy every day a little bit. This is basic shit, and you know it. You know it's true.
Yeah.
You know it's true, but someone still has to tell you a couple of times, and just
that's why we're here.
That's why we're telling.
And
that's why we're here.
Advice we always give: beer is good. Beer we'll solve the world's problems one day. We might have a intergalactic alien race coming down. If we sit down, they meet us first. Remember, we'll sit down, have some
Yeah,
beers, and discuss it, and we'll create a peace treaty and probably a business. Was it interstellar beer or
probably.
some shit?
But yeah, because even that, remember, having a couple of beers is great. We're
Mm.
not necessarily saying you have to drink 28 beers and get
No,
shit
no, no,
faced
no,
drunk and throw up on
no, no, no,
yourself.
no.
You
That's
can do
true.
it from time to time. I mean, we've done
Everybody
that a
does
couple of
that.
times.
We've done it,
Everyone's done
and
that.
we
So
said we'll
yes,
never do it
so
again until next Friday.
until the next week. Yeah, yeah. But it's but like we talk about beer all the time.
Yeah.
We're not. I mean, again, it's shit that you know is all true. It happens. So you get
Mm.
older, you just can't do. What's that song? But come on, it's like I'm as good once as I ever was. I'm not
Yeah.
as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. That's actually as true as you get older, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not as
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
as I once was. So I can't
Yeah.
drink myself to death every day,
Right.
but
Yep.
every once in a while, I can
Yeah.
still hammer a few.
Yeah. We still passed out once in a while. And then I've done that not too long ago, but I try not to repeat it too often, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
it is true. I mean, everything in moderation, enjoy in moderation. Don't like, and we talked about that too, excessive. Okay.
Oh yeah,
we
we
had
did.
that,
Yeah,
we had that discussion while we were in Puerto Vallarta, the excessive
Mexico. Yeah,
in
yeah.
Mexico. Yeah. 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 It was great. And
Extremism can it be
extremism.
good?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be, but usually when it comes to alcohol, probably not so good. But if you're very good at making alcohol, excellent. You can create a whole beer company or a whiskey company. So, and we were looking at, remember, Headhunter Hooch. We had that. So there's all kinds of opportunities, and we're here
Mm-hmm.
to explore them, including Wise Old Bastards and Beer Hunt. Headhunters, Beer Hunters International.
Hunters International. Yep. Yeah.
Headhunter Hooch is different than not Headhunter. No, no, no. Beer Hunters International.
Head,
I think that's going to
Headhunters
be
Hooch is yeah.
something else.
Headhunters Hooch would be more of a niche product for a niche
Yeah, yeah,
market now.
yeah. Of
But
course, of
on the
course. We
one
always play
hand,
that.
we can't launch it globally because
No,
it's not the right time.
no.
But on the other hand, we'll have a much stronger small audience who will buy it just because of what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a
Yeah,
discussion for a whole nother day.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
Never mind that.
So I
Let's
think
never mind that.
for today, I think our advice is enjoy life, enjoy beer,
It's
enjoy
good
whiskey,
advice.
enjoy work hard, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Ah, Alan, what do you have to add on that?
Well, one thing that I like to say, I used to say it a lot. Now I'm so lazy I don't say it much anymore. I used to say like if you um sorry, way to say it. If you're hmm, if you're going to live a McDonald's life,
Hmm,
work at McDonald's is fine, right? So
hmm,
if what I mean by that is if what turns your crank is you work your 9 to 5 job wherever it
yeah,
happens to be,
yeah,
and your joy in life is to have like a barbecue on Friday night or on Saturday with your neighbors and your buddies, and that's for you. That's like it. You love the shit out of that.
hmm,
Then work your 9 to 5 job. Don't stress yourself out to try and make a shit ton more money if it's not important to you,
hmm,
right? So if for you you feel like you have to do and have more, you have to work harder, like Kevin just said. So you've got to match your desires to the effort you're willing to put in. Do you want
hmm,
to be like my Taiwanese buddy's brother? And you're
hmm,
70 years old working 7 days a week. He's got a lot of fucking money. He's a rich, rich, rich motherfucker. But he doesn't. I can't say he
hmm.
doesn't enjoy it. He goes, eats what he wants, and drinks. But
Yeah,
if
but
that's what you want to be, if that's who you are, do it.
hmm,
But if that's not who you are, why the
hmm.
fuck would you do that?
Yeah,
That
exactly.
Mexican fisherman story, right?
Yeah,
There you
exactly,
go.
exactly. Yeah, and we have to repeat that when we're back in Mexico.
We'll do it again in Mexico. And
Yeah,
today,
we'll do it
thank
again.
goodness, we decided that we don't want to work hard either anymore.
Yep.
So we said we're going to try and do our episodes down to like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So we, oops.
1 hour and 6 minutes. It's like, oh, well. At least the timer's here. So anyway, we'll cut it down to different sections and send it around. But if you want to watch the whole section, the whole podcast, full podcast, please do. And
please do.
We're here. We'll be here again. We're trying to do one a week. And even though we are not retired, we're still working. We're here to have fun, give advice, drink beer, make money. And that's about it.
So my advice right now is, let's shut her down and go grab a cold beer. That's my advice.
Can get another
Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. It was good to have you here.
Thank you.
Our budget was good enough this week to have the intro music, but the outro is not working. So there you go. So we need one of these sponsors to step up so that we can actually get that outro music.
We got to get a beer tune
because it's fun.
Polka from Germany.
And
a mariachi band from Mexico.
Pokiachi. Actually, no, you can hear sometime the accordion music down in Mexico too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our next. We'll find some accordion, polka, Mexican mariachi music. And goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Ciao for this week.
Bye. Bye.